service. Okay then, to begin with, I just want to kind of like raise the energy. I just want to have a bit of fun. I want to see who can make the most noise. So if I, take a seat. So if I hypothetically draw a line down the middle, that will make you on my right, side A, which will mean that you on my left will be, guys, look, okay, guys, listen. This isn't hard, okay? Like, I know you're in Peterborough, so I guess you have an excuse, so I'll let you off. No, I'm joking. So if you on my right are side A, that makes you on my left side. Thank you. So here's how it's gonna work. Side A first. When I raise my hand, I want you to go nuts, make as much noise as possible, and then when I lower it again, you're gonna stop. And then side B, you'll do the same. All right, side A, are you ready? Oh, Lord, what's your name? What's your name? Give up for this girl here. Give up for this girl here, everybody. Are you ready? Side A, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's going to be hard to beat, side B. Are you ready, side B? Give up for side B, ladies and gentlemen. Give up for side B. Side A, give up for side B. Stop hating, man. Give up for side B. Give it up for them. Okay, then. Before we continue, if you look underneath your chairs, or not now, I love that you're keen. Not yet. I love that you're keen. But if you look underneath your chairs, you're going to see a questionnaire. So what I want you to do is to take out the questionnaire so now you can take it out. And I just want you to answer question 1, which is how likely you are to want to go to university now, where 1 is a hell no, and where 10 is a hell yeah. So if you could do that quickly for me now. So question 1, I hope that you all brought pens. Like, this is college. I hope you all brought pens, but if not, there's some not underneath every chair, but so I'll give you a couple of seconds to do that. So just question 1 for now. So this is before the talk. Just question 1. And by the way, while you're finishing that off, who's on Snapchat? Anybody on Snapchat? Raise your hand. In fact, if you're not on Snapchat, get on Snapchat. What's wrong with you? But anyway, for those of us who have Snapchat, what I've done is I've created a filter just for this talk. And I'm giving away a free copy of my mixtape, one of these, to whoever does the best video or best pick with a filter and sends it to me before 3 p.m. Before what time? Okay, so whoever sends the best video or best pick to my Twitter, @CoyoteCod, with a hashtag KOD, you get a free copy of my mixtape. Sounds cool? That's very cool. Okay, so are we ready for the talk? I don't think we're ready. I said, are we ready for the talk? Turn to the person to your right, give them a high five and say, I'm ready. Turn to the person to your left, give them a high five and say, I know you are. And turn to the person behind you, give them a double high five and say, hey. It's getting hot in here. Okay then. So who watched my promo video for this talk? By show of hands, anyone watched my promo video? No, show of hands, you watched it? Okay. Whether you did or whether you didn't, you might have worked out that, yes, I did go to university. I know it might be hard to believe, I got you doing high fives, I got a bald patch, do you get what I'm saying? But I did go to university. But the question is, how did I get there? So let me tell you a story. Let me take you on a trip down memory lane. It's the 21st of August, 2008. I know that was ages ago, yeah, don't try and make me feel old. But it's my GCSE results day. So I ran inside of my school, grabbed my envelope, then ran straight back inside of my mum's car. My two eyes staring down at my envelope, and my mum's eyes staring at me. Kai, are you gonna open it? So I open my envelope. 2 A's, 6 B's, and 1 C. Oh, thank you. Which was enough for me to start college 30 days later. And I was so excited to get to college. You know, I get to ditch my school uniform like how I ditched my blazer just now. You know, I didn't have to be restricted to a classroom Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And because I went to an all-boys school, for the first time, I get to be around girls. And because, you know what, me growing up through school, I didn't even know what girls were. I thought girls were just boys who were just a little bit more pretty. You know what I'm saying? I was just around boys playing football 24/7. You know? All right. But before long, time literally flew by. Like, I kid you not, I must have sneezed. And by the time I opened my eyes again, I had finished college. And I found myself in the exact same predicament, but outside of my college gates this time. So I ran inside of my college, grabbed my envelope, then ran straight back inside of my mum's car. My two eyes staring down at my envelope, and my mum's eyes staring at me. Kai, are you gonna open it? So I opened the envelope. We drove back home. My mum let me through the door, then shut it behind her, continued going to work, battling the tears in her eyes. Now, you see, that was hard for me. As a man, there's only 2 things that we can't stand. The first is when your wife or girlfriend takes so long to get ready in the morning. And the second is seeing your mother cry, especially when you know that you're the cause. You see, I have one of those mums whereby she would celebrate things before they've even happened. Like for weeks or months before my A-level results day, she would have been at work boasting, yeah, my son's going to university in September. Yeah, my baby boy's going to get all of these good grades at college. And I'll be like, chill, man, putting bare pressure on, man. Chill, I haven't even done it yet. But now she had to go back to work and tell her work colleagues that no, her son was not going to university in September, and no, her son didn't get good grades at college. In fact, he'd failed college. With that door slammed shut, it sent an echo, echo, echo through the whole house. The house is empty. I was all alone. My dad had already gone to work, and my siblings were already at school. It was just me and my cat. Yeah, my cat was there too. But the house was empty. But it wasn't as empty as I felt in my heart. You see, 9 days prior to my A-level results day, my then girlfriend had broken up with me. It might seem petty now, but at the time, she was my world. And the fact that I couldn't phone her for emotional support because she didn't want to speak to me again took me to a depth that I could no longer bear. I trotted upstairs to my room and sat on my chair. I couldn't help but look outside of the window in the park to see the kids playing in the basketball court. And I just wished I could have been as happy as they were. How did I even get into this situation? I thought to myself, oh yeah, that's why. You see, with this new sense of freedom being at college, you know, not being restricted to a classroom Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., for example, like when you're at school. And with the sudden realization that I was getting older and I wouldn't make it as a professional footballer, I decided to do new things to occupy my time. And occupy my time with new things I did indeed. They say that the devil makes work for idle hands. And he definitely had a plan for mine. This photo was taken 3 hours before I was arrested for the second time. And 1 year before this photo was taken, I was charged and sentenced at Camberwell Youth Court for Section 8. They say you're an average of the 5 people who you hang around with most. But I guess these were my 7. And that's all we used to do. Ride on the back of buses, roam the streets of South London, in fact, the whole of London, not fearing anybody, doing whatever we wanted to do. In this photo, some of the guys here have now gone to prison, doing various sentences ranging from 1, 2 to 3 or more years. Now, I'm not asking you to have 20/20 vision, but imagine you went to prison today for 3 years. How would it make you feel knowing that you've come out wasting all of that time? The kids playing outside in the park had begun to go inside of their houses, which reminded me that I have work to do. I had to go through the clearing process. Now, for those of you who don't know what the clearing process is, this is a process where you find yourself in if you fail college, and you have to literally take a list of universities and phone them one by one, begging for them to give you a place. I was making phone call after phone call, but getting rejection after rejection after rejection. This is hopeless, I thought to myself. So I did what we all do when we feel the weight of the world on our shoulders, and that was take a nap. But then I woke up, alarm clock's ringing, it's birds singing, it's springing, Hailey's outside singing. Sorry, that's not my story, that's Eminem. But anyway, I did wake up to my phone ringing. You knew that, right? Yeah, he knew that. But I did wake up to my phone ringing. It was a BlackBerry. Anyone have a BlackBerry? Or did you all just come in an iPhone? Like, you had a BlackBerry? Yeah, so my BlackBerry started ringing, and I saw it was a private number. I got so excited thinking, yes, this has to be a university calling me back. Because I called loads. I thought, who else is going to really call me on private number? So I sat upright in my chair, getting ready to put on the most posh British accent I could possibly put on. You know what it's like when you're speaking to like authority. So I was like, Coyote Damali speaking, how can I help you? But the voice at the other end of the line, it wasn't a university offering me a place in September. In fact, it wasn't from a university at all. This voice was a voice of distress. This was a voice of worry. This voice was a voice of my youngest sister, arrested in a police station, using her only phone call to bail me out. That crushed me, literally crushed me, knowing that she was sitting in there. Because the inside of a police cell was somewhere I knew far too well. In fact, that time in 2010, I was on track for the first time since I was 15 not to have been in one. When the phone hung up, there was silence. I didn't know what to do. I felt stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because on one hand, I wanted to get the bus to Catford police station and bail my sister out. But on the other hand, I just wanted to stay at home by my landline in case the university phoned me back offering me a place. What would you have done? I just felt so confused. That day I found out I failed college. I had no girlfriend. It's not like I can call the man them to help me out because they wouldn't really care. My parents were at work and my siblings were at school. I was a young offender and now my sister was going down the same path. I didn't know what to do. But then I got a phone call. It was Manchester Metropolitan University, MMU, giving me a place to start in September. And this is the campus I studied at. And then 3 years after that, this happened.
Next student has also been awarded the MMU Professional Passport, Coyote Damali.
Literally, like honestly, if you ever go to university and graduate, that's the most buzzing feeling you would ever get. As I was coming up the stairs, people were even cheering my name before I even got on. So I thought, you know what? When I do come on stage, I'm not just going to shake the dude's hand like everybody else. I need to, bring it in. Let's hug it out, man. Let's hug it out. And then even after I hugged him, I still heard the audience going nuts. So I thought, you know what, I'm here now. 4,000 people in the audience. I might as well just start skanking. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that day was pretty sick. And since that day, my life has now been almost like a movie. It's been crazy what's happened since that day. You know, I graduated with a high first-class honours degree. Now, for those of you who don't know what a first class is, because I didn't when I was at college, but a first-class honours is almost equivalent to getting an A-star at GCSE. There's no higher you can get from that. But not only did I get a first-class honours degree, I also became published in the field of motivation and self-belief. So technically, right now, I'm actually a published author or a published researcher. In addition to that, on my graduation, I was only one of 2 people out of 30,000 to receive an honourable award from the university. Thank you, thank you. I like this guy, you know, he's always setting pace with the clapping. I like it, man. He's always setting pace with the clapping. Thank you, I appreciate that. And like I said, since then, my life has almost been like a movie. But I've always been the type of kid whereby I'm not very good at talking about myself. I don't really like, you know, saying my achievements. I don't want to risk sounding arrogant or boastful, for example. You know, I grew up with a mantra that the oyster that opens its mouth loses its pearl. Or one of my favorite books that changed my life when I was 17 called The 48 Laws of Power. In Law 4 states to always say less than necessary, which is kind of conflicting for me to have that mentality as a speaker unless I just stay on stage and go like this. So I'm not going to tell you my achievements. I'm going to allow you to work it out because I know that you're a smart bunch. So here's how it's going to work. Who's heard of the game 2 Truths, 1 Lie? Anyone know 2 Truths, 1 Lie? So I'm going to have 3 statements come on. And I want you to tell me which ones are the truths and which ones are the lie. For example, I graduated with a first-class honours degree. I got published. I didn't graduate. So now I'll ask you to raise your hands, and we of course know the answer to this one because I gave it to you. They're the 2, right? Of course, I graduated. So you ready for the first question? Oh, I like that, a nice little cheer. Question 1. I was the vice president of my university. That's premise 1. Premise 2, I have traveled Southeast Asia. Premise 3, I was the director of the National Union of Students. Raise your hand if you think the first one is a lie. First one a lie? Yeah. Nice and high, man. Let me see them, man. Nice and high. Second one a lie? And if you think the first one's a lie, raise your hand. And raise your hand if you didn't raise your hand. Okay. There you go. So I was the vice president and governor of my university. So I was elected out of thousands of votes to represent the students at my university as vice president and governor. I haven't traveled Southeast Asia, but I was the director of the National Union of Students. Let's talk about it. So this is me doing my graduation speech in 2014. Listen, go on YouTube and watch that speech. I swear down, it's like one of my favorite speeches to this date. So I didn't travel Southeast Asia, but I have traveled around America. Raise your hand if you've been to America before. Where did you go? Florida. I went to Florida as well. Where did you guys go at the back? Everywhere. You know, there's seats here, you know, but anyway. Yeah, so Miami Beach. I stood in the same spot where Martin Luther King did the I Have a Dream speech in 1963, just before my birthday. Took a selfie with crocodiles or alligators in Florida, and I went Beverly Hills. That's where the rich people go to shop. I saw Kanye West there, actually. We were in the Gucci store, and we had to get rushed out. They said Kanye West is coming in. It was crazy. Traveled down to Australia as well. To Harbour Bridge. Yeah, kangaroo. I took a selfie with a kangaroo. I think he grew up. Do you guys see the kangaroo that boxed that guy on social media? I think he was this one, you know, because he was angry. I think he grew up to be that kangaroo, you know. I also did skydiving in Sydney, Australia. But you know what? I was so annoyed because I paid hundreds, literally hundreds to do it. And when we landed, the guy said to me, you know you can skydive without a parachute. And I said, really? Then he goes to me, yeah, but only once. And I've also been various places around Europe. So this is me in Venice on a gondola. I had a girl next to me, but she said she didn't want to be in it, so I had to crop her out. There's me on a quad bike, scuba diving, this is me in Slovakia. And yeah, I was the vice president of the National Union of Students. So anyone interested in going to university, This is an organization that represents 7 million students across the whole country, both in HE and FE, so also representing you too. Question 2. I've been on Love Island. I heard someone say Marcel already, that's all nuts. I've been on Come Down With Me. I've been viral on the BBC. So if you think it's the first one, raise your hand. So I haven't been on Love Island. If you don't think I've been on Come Down With Me, raise your hand. Nice and high. And if you don't think I've been viral on the BBC, raise your hand. And raise your hand again if you didn't raise your hand. Raise your hand next time. And the answer is? What did I cook? That's the question I get all the time, That's another talk. That's another 30 minutes. I'm telling you that from now. Maybe. So I haven't been on Love Island, but this summer I kept getting tweets tagged and everyone thought I was Marcel. You know what I'm saying? I was walking down the street, everyone kept thinking I was Marcel. But anyway, so I have been on Come Down With Me and I have been viral on the BBC. There's me on Come Down With Me. Someone thought I was Pogba and they thought it'd be funny. I have been in the papers and the media. This is when I was in the paper, I think 2015, I believe. BBC stuff. So I did go viral during a particular episode on there, which you can check out. Question 3, last one. So next time, guys who didn't raise your hand, you need to raise your hand. It's the last question. I have an events business. I'm the top 10 of the most powerful young entrepreneurs in the world. I have shares in SBTV, the platform in London, doing music videos, etc. Raise your hand if you think the first one's a lie. I don't have an events business. Raise your hand if you don't think I'm the top 10 of the most powerful young entrepreneurs in the world. Nice and high, nice and high. And raise your hand if you don't think I have shares with Jamal Edwards and SBTV. So I do have an events business. I am listed actually number 10 in the top 100 most powerful young entrepreneurs in the whole world. But I don't have shares in SBTV, unfortunately, even though I wish I did. So this is my events business here. You might recognize this guy here, Charlie Sloth. You might recognize this guy here, Dappy. So I do get to meet, quite big people during my events. So I would put on coach trips, etc. So we just go nuts and we have fun. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, so here's me listed in the top 10. Someone said, "Oh, which one is you?" So I thought I'll circle it in case you got confused. So the question you should be asking yourselves now is, how? How did I go from this guy over here, heartbroken, young offender in South London, running around with a mandem, to coming out on the other side? The question you should be asking yourselves is how? And my answer, what helped me make the transition from over there to over here, was university. This is why I say to people that university honestly saved my life. I often describe university as almost being like a superhero. It can save lives. But how, Coyote? How does university save lives? To be honest with you, everybody's university experience is unique to them. But when it comes to myself, university saved my life in 3 ways. How many ways? 3 ways. And why 3 ways? I don't know why 3 ways. I did a 3-year degree, so I thought maybe it makes sense to have 3. And a lot of good things come in threes. Like the 3 Little Pigs, they came in threes. Or the wise men who went to visit Jesus, they also came in a 3. And they were wise. And the blind mice, the little 3 blind mice, they also came in a 3. I guess they needed to come in a 3 though, right? One of them would have got left behind or something. So I thought it makes sense for me to share with you 3 ways that university saved my life. And the first way is this. Because when I arrived at university, one thing really struck and occurred to me. People were coming up to me like, "Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name?" "Hi, what's your name? Nice to meet you." Then one day I just sat there, literally sat there like this. And it occurred to me that nobody here knows who I am. So what that meant for me is that nobody knew my past, nobody knew where I came from. I can now come to university and completely reinvent myself. If I said to somebody, "Hi, my name is Jacob, nice to meet you," they would have had to believe me. They wouldn't know it any other way. It's like that Jay-Z song, "Allow me to reintroduce myself." So I got a new wave of confidence. I used to come on campus like, my name is Coyote Damali. I am my mum and dad's son. I am my sister's brother. I am my brother's keeper. Nice to meet you. What is your name? Because they didn't know any different. So it gave me a chance to completely reinvent myself. And the second way that university changed my life is this. At university, there's an abundance of opportunities that you can do when you're there. There's literally, I like to say there's an opportunities ball running around. You know, like a ball? Like I like to say there's opportunities ball like charging around. And has anyone heard the quote to like grab the ball by the horns? What a stupid quote. Have you ever seen a ball? Why would you grab it by the horns? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that is a red flag. If you see a ball running around, please do not grab it by the horns. Please, okay? That is a red flag. And in fact, red makes them angry, so don't grab them by the horns. So this is what I like to say. When you do meet this opportunities ball, don't try to grab him by the horns. Put him in a headlock and squeeze. Squeeze every single opportunity you can out of it. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time to plant a tree is right now. So if you're thinking about going to university, the best time to go will be right now. And the reason why I say that is because I personally believe it's harder to go to university the older you get. Because if you don't go to uni, you decide to go in your 20s or 30s, you'll have other commitments, you might have children, you might have a finance, you might have mortgage. It's just so much harder to go later on in life. So if you have the opportunity to go today, then I strongly recommend just going. For example, for me, I wish I did my master's degree. I graduated in 2013, so 4 years ago. And now it's just so much harder for me to go back to uni and do it. So I wish I did it straight away when I had the chance. So as we come to the end, I just want to leave you with this. If you remember correctly, I said I'll give you 3 ways university saved my life, right? So here's the third. In gymnastics or diving, for example, in fact, I've got a picture of this actually, check this. We'll fast forward this bit. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. In fact, away from this, if you have time, I've got a video on YouTube called University Waste of Time. Really? Check that out if you want to have a look at 5 arguments why I believe it's not. And also have a mixtape. This is free on SoundCloud for you to learn more about university if you want to. But as I was saying, divers on a springboard, they can dive without their springboard if they wanted to do their routine. But jumping on the springboard gives them that extra levitation to get in the air to perform their routine. Likewise with gymnastics in the event called the vault. The gymnasts, they can run up to the vault and jump without the springboard. But using the springboard helps them get the extra height. And I believe it's the same when it comes to your success in life. Because you can go through life to become successful without going to university. But I just personally believe that if you go to university, that's like the springboard for you to get to being successful. My name's been Coyote Damali. You've been a fantastic audience. Give yourselves a huge, massive round of applause.